Hi, I'm Dana with wholehealthdana.com, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make kale chips. So, first thing you're going to need is a bunch of kale. What you're going to do is rinse them and wash it off. I've already done that. Then you need to cut it. But before you do that, I should mention you need to preheat your oven. I do mine at 275 degrees. And I cook mine for a longer amount of time. You could do it all the way up to 350 degrees if you wanted to cook them faster. I would say that at 275 it takes me about 30 to 35 minutes, and at 350 it takes about 12-15 minutes or so. So you can do it whatever you want. The reason why I do mine at a lower temperature for longer is you have less of a chance of it burning around the edges, and I just like the flavor of it a little bit better. So to prepare your kale, you can see that it has this big long vein that runs down it. We need to cut that out. So the first thing I do is down here on the bottom there are just some like little leaves that are on the edge. I just pull those off and throw those into my bowl. And then we're going to cut out that vein. So I like to make sure it's folded over so that I can see the vein running right down there. And then I just take a sharp knife, and you don't have to go all the way up to the top so that it splits at the top. You just want to cut out the part of the vein where it's super thick. There's still a little bit of vein here, and that's not going to hurt anything. It's going to cook fine. You're not even going to notice it. And then you're going to cut or pull. You can just pull them into pieces about that size, or you can just cut them, whichever you prefer. And then you're going to put all of these into your bowl. Now I want to make sure that once you have rinsed these, washed and rinsed these, you're going to make sure that you're going to let them dry off for a little bit. You don't want these to be super wet when you're getting ready to bake them. It'll take longer, and it might make them even a little bit funky. You're just going to I've deveined all of the rest of these, but you're just going to put them all in bite-sized pieces, and then what I'm doing is I'm collecting them in a big large bowl. Okay, so in my case, this was actually a very large batch of kale today. I actually divided this up into 2 bowls. Now I have already melted a little bit of coconut oil on the stovetop, and I just put it, I just put it on top of the stove without even the burner on, and the heat from the oven preheating below it melted it. So I'm going to start out really just with 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I'm just going to rub it on and mix all of the leaves together. And it'll take a few minutes. I kind of like to massage all of the leaves as I'm going through that. And that just makes sure that I'm getting good coverage of the oil on all of the leaves. Now I suppose you could use olive oil with this. I have a friend who does. In my kitchen I use olive oil for only cold purposes. So like salad dressings and the like. I don't do it with anything that requires heating. If it gets cooked, it is with coconut oil. Okay, so once you have got these all completely covered, I like to sprinkle on some salt and just do a little bit and then massage and mix it up, and do that several times. And then I have a baking sheet that I have just lined with parchment paper, and you're going to just sprinkle your kale on. Now it's okay if they're touching, because these are going to dehydrate as they're baking, but you don't want them piled high on top of each other. Okay, so once you have them all arranged on your sheet, they're going to look something like that. And I did go ahead and do 2 sheets. I could just do 2 batches, one right after the other, but I just want to get them all done, I guess, faster. So I'm going to put them both in the oven, and because I'm doing it at 275 degrees, I'm going to wait about 15 minutes before I check on them. If you were doing it at 350 degrees, you probably want to check on it 7 or 8 minutes in, and see if they need to be moved around, shaked. If they're doing fine, but you don't want to let them burn, and it happens fast. So keep that in mind. All right, so our chips are done. They took about 30 minutes. They are crispy and just the way they ought to be. Perfect. Let's give it a try. Really good. You know, it took me a couple of times before I finally established how much salt I liked. I did it with too little salt, with too much salt, and I've made them enough times now that I finally figured it out, and you will too. If you would like a written copy of this recipe, please check it out at my website at www.wholehealthdana.com. And if you would like to follow me on social media, check out the links that are below.